Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are diving into something that is literally rewiring how we think about technology. We're exploring a paradigm shift so profound, it's fundamentally restructuring our understanding of what software actually is. For over half a century, we've thought of software in a very specific, rigid way. Humans write static code, and computers execute it. But the emergence of AI agents is taking that entire premise and flipping it upside down. So I want you to start by asking yourself this. What if the future of software has absolutely nothing to do with writing code? Now, if you're a developer or you've been working in tech for a while, that sounds almost heretical, right? We've spent decades believing that building software equals writing code. But to understand why this core assumption is suddenly shattering, we first need to look at the invisible wall that traditional software engineering has finally crashed into. Which brings us to Section 1, the complexity barrier, hitting the wall. Think about this problem for a second. Why does software get exponentially harder to build as it scales up? It's kind of unique. If you build a bridge, once the design phase is done, the actual physical construction is largely predictable. But software has no manufacturing step. The design is the product. Every single new feature or edge case you add multiplies the ways things can interact and potentially break. It creates this massive, tangled web of complexity.
The legendary software engineer Fred Brooks actually nailed this decades ago when he talked about essential complexity. This is complexity that's just baked into the problem itself, as the number of possible connections between a system's parts grows uncontrollably. But here's the real bottleneck we're hitting today. Human cognitive capacity hasn't changed. A human engineer simply cannot hold the entire map of a massive modern software system in their head all at once. We've tried higher-level languages, we've tried modular design, but that fundamental limit, the human brain's capacity to trace millions of interactions, it's still there.
Moving on to Section 2, redefining software itself, the flip. So we need to understand exactly what we mean by agentic software. In a traditional system, code is basically a carrier for pre-written decision logic. A human developer had to anticipate the path and write it down. But in an agentic system, the AI agent is the software. A large language model acts as the primary reasoning engine. It looks at the current state of things, dynamically generates the decision logic or the code it needs right at that exact moment at runtime, executes it, and then just moves on. In this new paradigm, code becomes totally ephemeral. It's just scaffolding. The agent isn't just some fancy autocomplete tool writing code for you to paste into a permanent code base. The neural network is writing programs on demand, using code purely as a temporary instrument to hit a broader goal. Think about it. Once a building is finished, you take the scaffolding down. You don't live in the scaffolding, you live in the building. Here, the final outcome is the building, and the code is just the temporary framework used to get you there.
Let's look at Section 3, 3 generations of delivery.
It's really fascinating to see how the historical arc of tech has continuously shifted complexity away from the user. Back in the 1990s, we had Software 1.0. You bought a license on a CD, you installed it locally, and you owned all the headaches of maintaining it. Then the 2010s brought us Software 2.0, or Software as a Service. The cloud vendors happily absorbed all that infrastructure complexity for us. And today, we're entering Software 3.0, Agent as a Service. The agent operates completely autonomously in the cloud. You no longer specify how a result should be produced, you only tell it what result you want. You are paying for outcomes, not tools. Which leads perfectly into Section 4, enter agentic engineering. There is a very sharp contrast forming between the old world and the new. In traditional software engineering, your core artifact is static source code, and you are the code author, and you're completely constrained by human cognition. But in agentic engineering, the artifact is a dynamic agent system. The complexity ceiling isn't human memory anymore. It's the AI model's capacity, which scales up with raw computing power. Your role elevates from a code author to an intent architect. You're not manually typing out functions, you are strategically orchestrating agents to achieve massive goals. Okay, so how does an agent actually pull this off? Let's pop the hood and break down the anatomy of an agent, based on some of the latest foundational research. It all starts with the perception module. Just like a human engineer reading a JIRA ticket or scanning an error log, the agent has to perceive its environment. This module handles multimodal input processing, taking in user intent, system data, and real-time environmental feedback.
Next up is the memory module. For an agent to be genuinely autonomous, it can't just react blindly. It has to remember. This module maintains semantic knowledge, procedural knowledge, and an episodic memory of past actions.
Using tools like vector stores, which basically act as a highly searchable, lightning-fast filing cabinet for the AI, the agent maintains context over short-term tasks and actually accumulates long-term experiential knowledge. It learns from what it did yesterday. And finally, we have the action module. This is where the magic happens. Guided by its large language model reasoning core, the agent executes internal reasoning, planning out and breaking down tasks, and then invokes external tools. It might spin up a Python code interpreter, query a SQL database, or hit a third-party API. This is exactly where that ephemeral code we talked about earlier gets generated, executed, and discarded on the fly. And the results of this architecture, they are absolutely staggering. In a recent pilot study that deployed coordinated agent swarms across enterprise debugging workflows, they saw a 93% reduction in root cause identification time. They saved over 200 engineering hours in a single month. The really incredible part is that these massive gains didn't come from just one super smart agent. They came from orchestration, multiple agents maintaining shared context, running investigations in parallel, and cross-validating findings, exactly like a seasoned human engineering team would. But hold on, let's look at Section 5, Breakthroughs and Current Limits, the reality check. Because we have to be objective here, and the data from a benchmark called EvoClaw is definitely sobering. EvoClaw tests agents not just on fixing one isolated bug, but on continuous software evolution, meaning sustained development over a long period of time. On isolated tasks, agents crushed it, succeeding 82% of the time. But in continuous evolution, the performance completely fell off a cliff, dropping down to, at most, a 38% success rate. So why does this massive 54% drop happen? Well, the source material points to 4 huge challenges. First, context drift. As code bases grow, agents start to lose sight of the big picture and system-wide dependencies. Second, error propagation. A tiny hallucination or mistake in step 1 snowballs into massive failures by step 10, and agents really struggle to catch it. Third, agents are largely ignorant of technical debt. They just want to optimize for finishing the immediate task right now, not for long-term maintainability. And fourth, verification fidelity. Agents are getting really good at passing automated tests while subtly breaking the actual semantic logic of the software. This gap is the reality of the distance between where we are today and fully autonomous development. So how do we bridge that gap? Section 6, the evolutionary roadmap. We're essentially moving through 4 distinct stages of evolution. Stage 1 is tool-augmented. That's where we mostly are today, using AI as a really smart assistant to write code while a human designs the architecture. Stage 2 is single-task autonomous, where agents actually own a feature all the way from specification to deployment. Stage 3 introduces multi-agent teams or swarms. Imagine specialized agents acting as product managers, architects, and QA testers, all collaborating and debating with each other. Finally, Stage 4 is self-evolving ecosystems. In this future, agents spawn their own specialized sub-agents, adapt to environmental changes, and improve their own architectures entirely without human intervention. Now, if agents are going to do all that, where does that leave you? Well, the source material makes one thing incredibly clear. Human value isn't disappearing, it's elevating. Your new role is the intent architect. Writing the actual syntax of code is fast becoming commoditized. Your real value is going to be in intent articulation, specifying goals with crystal clear precision. You'll be providing architectural oversight, defining what good actually looks like through quality calibration, and establishing the governance to ensure these massive agent swarms stay aligned with human values. Traditional software engineering isn't ending, it's just growing into something vastly larger and more powerful. So I'll leave you with this one final thought. When software can literally build, test, and evolve itself, what are you gonna choose to build? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.